course have online pet shops which ship to many different countries. Now, not all pet shops will ship to your particular country, and what I would suggest pet food bowls aren't necessarily hard to find, but finding cute ones can be a little bit more difficult, and some of us like to have cute bowls in our cages. So these are the kind of bowls I have in my cages, and these are actually ashtrays. You wouldn't believe how many novelty ashtrays there are out there in the world. So go into your local supermarket or homeware store, have a look at the ashtrays, see what they've got. You'll be surprised what you find. These make excellent dishes and they look adorable. Another great dish example, this is just the water holder for the base of a plant pot. You'll find these in the gardening section of shops or in garden centres. You can buy them as small as this, sometimes you can get them even smaller, and these make great food bowls, and if you get the really big ones, those make amazing sand baths. When it comes to toys, DIY is usually the way to go, or you could just recycle some things from your household. So I've got a couple of things here which were just food holding products, boxes and tubes from things that we've eaten, and these are going to go into the hamster cage and keep them entertained quite a bit. These are perfectly safe for your hamster to chew on. They look quite cute and colourful, and they're extremely cheap toys because normally these things would just go in the rubbish, so you're recycling them, which is another bonus. The one thing I would say is to avoid using boxes that come from cleaning supplies. With the exception of tubes from the middle of toilet paper, which are perfectly safe, then I would just stick to using stuff that's been used to package food, as you know that this stuff is going to be safe, it's not going to have any weird contaminants in it, and it's not going to cause any problems for your pet. I've also got a couple of DIY toys here. This is a DIY coconut house. I have a video on this, you can find it over on my channel. This was just a coconut I bought from the shop, took out all the insides from it, created this little hole, and I have a coconut house which cost me 99 cents. These cost about $3.99 in the shops where I am, so big saving there. Here I have a lollipop stick climbing frame, and these were plain lollipop sticks. I don't tend to buy the brightly coloured ones because I don't know what kind of inks have been used in those, but these were plain coloured ones that I soaked in vegetable food dye. Now that is safe for hamsters. You can see it's made it a gorgeous, bright, quite a vivid colour there. And then I just glued them together using some non-toxic hot glue, which is safe to use so long as your hamster is not going to chew it excessively. If you do notice your hamster chewing something that you have used glue for, then remove it from the cage just in case. I also have a couple of homemade hammocks, and these are incredibly easy yet again, and these ones are slightly more complex because they have different patterns on that side, and this one is a double layered one. But making a homemade hammock is as easy as buying a face cloth, poking a hole in each corner, and then just hooking some hooks through it, and there you have a hammock. Really cheap, really easy. Now we will move on to the endless amount of hideaways that I have here, because I just seem to have an obsession with collecting random hideaways. So we will begin with these bucket-like ones. This is a plastic plant pot, hard plastic. I would recommend always getting a hard plastic because these soft plastic ones are easy to chew and may cause damage to your hamster's mouth if they do chew them. So hard plastic plant pots. I've got a little metallic bucket here, which again came from the gardening section of a shop. Old drinking mugs. This one is no longer usable for people because it does have a crack running through it which makes the liquid leak out, but it's perfectly suitable for pets, so why throw it away when you can give it to your hamster? It makes a lovely hideaway, especially in the summertime when these are great for keeping your hamster cool. You can pop them in the fridge for an hour, take them out, put them in the cage, keeps your hamster nice and cool, they look nice, and again, it's a great way of recycling. Down here I have a couple of different birdhouses. These I think are really good for dwarf hamsters especially, but you can find ones which are good for Syrian hamsters. So we have, this is actually my newest one, this is a little orange birdhouse. You can see it still has the ticket on it. I have another birdhouse which is a nice little round one here with some pretty flowers and patterns on. And then I have this big wooden one, which was one of the first ones that I bought, and it has a lift up lid, so this one's actually a lot easier for me to use for my pets because it's easier to get in there and clean it. It's just a little wooden bird box. A box like this would be super easy to make if you're into DIY. Honestly, if you love DIY, I would just recommend making a load of the stuff yourself because it's going to save you so much money and everything will be customized to your liking. Some more new things which you are going to see in our spring cage tours later this month. This is, I believe this is supposed to be an egg holder for the spring festivals and things like that. I don't know what it's really supposed to hold, but this would make a brilliant hamster house hideaway, especially for Assyrian. Just fill it full of your lovely nesting material and just let your hamster go in there and play in it. For a dwarf hamster, this could be a good mini dig box. You could just fill it full of substrate and they can go foraging around in there. Oh, or a forage box, that'd be even better. Pop some substrate in, hide some treats amongst there. Great toy. So this is actually my dwarf sized one and this is my Syrian sized one, so you can see slight difference there. You do have to be quite imaginative when it comes to picking out hamster toys. Then I have this lovely candle holder, which could easily be a hideaway if it's that way. If you turn it upside down, it could be a platform. Turn it this way, it could be a forage box. Again, from the gardening section, we have a little flower basket, and once again, you could have a forage box, you could have a little shelf, or you could have a hideaway. Yet another plant pot, and as you can see, with the amount of plant pots I have here, and they all look so different, you really get a lot more choice when it comes to decorating your cage if you're looking in alternative sections of your local shop. So this, super cute, and it's going to make a gorgeous hideaway. The final alternative product, which I think is one of the best ones when it comes to picking out hamster houses, are tea light holders. These come in so many different designs, so many different colors. They have these little holes in the back of them for you to put your tea light in, and you can get really big ones, you can get slightly smaller ones, so Syrian and dwarf sized ones, and these are just so cute. Perfect for your hamster to use as a hideaway, or again, you could have it on its side as a forage box or just a little tunnel or anything like that. They can be so many different things. This particular one has like an oil pot on the top, which you can put food in as well, so lots of different alternatives there. I have a lot of different tea light holders. You'll have seen them in past cage tours. In my winter tours, I had some a winter tree and a pudding tea light holder which were being used as hideaways. In my winter tours the previous year, I actually had one that was a train that was a tea light holder. It was about this big and it was so cute and it worked perfectly. So tea light holders, one to watch out for. So I think I got a little bit excited then talking about all of that stuff, but as you can see, you still do have a lot of options regardless of what country you live in. You just have to be more imaginative about things. You have to look at things with a different eye, you know, just see how your hamster could use something. And if you start looking at things in a different light, you'll actually find that it's not that difficult to find some fun hamster supplies. So I do hope this video has given you some inspiration if you're really finding it hard to find hamster supplies. It's not easy for all of us when it comes to shopping for our pets, but we can try our hardest and we can come out with some adorable finds if we really look for them. So, if you enjoyed this video and you did find it helpful, don't forget to leave us a thumbs up. You can also share this video with your friends and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!